Okay, so first of all, let's show something here. So I just see Tretch of Tretch and Pazuzu's uh, part of the recent attack. And of course, he thinks something's about him again, which it has nothing to do with him. And I did get him good on something. But anyway, okay. My responding to a Narcy, an 88 Narcy, is to this response, which I missed. I don't know if it even had anything to do with me, but I'm responding to it because this is the person who actually uses narcissistic manipulation. And now we have Tretch of Tretch and Pazuzu, who's all upset because I happened to mention how he doesn't like his wife called names, and maybe other people don't in my family, such as my husband, don't like me called those names. But of course, he doesn't know about it because I don't have to go crying to him like a little fucking bitch. And I don't need him on my lap and sitting next to me and talking about our sex life and shit, because that ain't what I do on the internet. And that much he does know, doesn't he? Now, here he goes trying to drag my personal life into the facts. The facts being, I did an impromptu interview, fact and truth, by somebody that Tretch cannot stand. And let's make it clear. There was contention even before then between Tretch and I, some kind of weird ass shit, which one person probably has a good idea as to what that is, over some other stuff, that namely James D. Now I know I don't want to bring it. Wow, talking about my personal life, and I don't want to bring it in anybody else's stuff and drag it all over YouTube. But those people that know this one, Tretch, no, yeah. What is that again? Not a cheetah and all this other fucking shit. And the thing is, it's not my business. And the only reason I was friends with Tretch was because Pazuzu, the Pazuzu in the Tretch and Pazuzu productions, asked me to be Tretch's friend, to get to know him or whatever. And then there was stuff going on with Renee, and Renee and him had been friends at that time. On what level, I don't know. But definitely not romantic at all. Get that straight. But so I was like, okay, whatever, and the main thing is that Tretch had problems with Thomas in the past. So I was like, okay, whatever. And so now things that were talked privately as friends is being exploited. I just want to get that straight from Tretch and Pazuzu Productions, and he's doubling down on the mud pig thing again over things that had nothing to do with him. And I simply pointed out the fact that maybe when he goes around talking to other females like that on YouTube, but yet doesn't like it when people do it to his wife and his family, but he seems to think it's okay with my family. And now he's discussing my bills and who pays my bills. Really? Is that a fact? There's a lot you don't know, little buddy, that you do not know. Okay, you do not know who does not pay my bills, as a matter of fact. And I have to have my own house. I bought this house with my own cash, in full. That's right. I went down to the title company and bought this house outright with my own cash. Mine, that I earned with my own hands. Okay, I don't have a wifey off making money for me, or a husband for that matter that's making money for me. I did it on my own, buddy, with 2 kids in tow, with pieces of shit like you trying to kick me down every chance they could. Oh, and here we got somebody who don't, somebody's not allowed to be flirting on the internet. Well, ain't you something? Because those who know about you know, don't they? Sure they do. Sure they do. And I don't need to repeat it because I don't want to be you. You see how that is? I don't want to be you. I don't want to be your little Pazuzu production bullshit. Where's this documentary? There isn't one because it wasn't about anything but jealousy and whatever. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to, whatever. And as a matter of fact, I saw my husband within the past 2 weeks, and I had a talk with him, and we've worked things out as to where things are going. And that's nobody's business, is it? But ours. But look at Tretch here wanting to dig out my family information when I considered him a personal friend. And he's bringing up things that were talked about privately. Privately. So again, what is this documentary again? And I know, and Lestat knows, that interview was impromptu. There was no big plans. There was no, let me tell you about Tretch. I don't like him talk and mentioning things that were said privately behind anybody's back whatsoever. Because that ain't me, buddy. That's you. That's you. That's all on you and your friends. And you had it planned. And I can't believe that Angela G didn't know, but maybe she didn't, of this contention. And again, why put her in that spot? And as far as James D and I've repeatedly told these people privately, oh, but let's talk about what was sent to James D privately from these people who considered me their friend. Oh, wait, but the documentary was supposed to be to help me as a friend. Let's get back to that. Maybe I should go back and pick it apart as he does. No, Tretch had already left. I found out, let's see, that morning I'd have to go through my texts with my mother. You know what? I ain't doing this. You know what? Not only is this man not a friend, but he's not a human. Okay? He's just another piece of shit, which really makes me question a little of these dynamics with Thomas. It really does. It really, really does. But anyways, I'll finish that last thought. So I had a relative who was extremely sick. Extremely sick. Thank God they didn't pass away that day. That's when Tretch decided to. Lestat left a comment on a video, one of my videos. I snapshotted it. I put it down there in the Discord. I was like, Lestat left this comment. I didn't want to get involved. I didn't say he's dumb or what does it mean or anything like that. It's just Lestat left this comment because Lestat's problems with Tretch are between Lestat and Tretch, not me. So, and then Tretch and Jackie scurried out of there, and there was some, I could go look it up, some horrible words said to me just because I said somebody left a comment. I didn't want to have to deal with it. That's not my deal. I met Tretch through Pazuzu, Aiken, Chris, because I researched Cicada and stuff, and I felt bad. He was outed by Thomas, was the story I was given and whatever, and he was close friends with Aiken's, Chris's, and Angela's. So I had no problem with that. And we were all scattered in different messenger services or whatever, and I was like, I'll just start a little private Discord. And now he's going to come out and say all of these things. Oh, but we won't talk about what was sent to James D behind my back, though, will we? No, we will not. And what happened was, you know what? Again, I really don't want to go in through all this. And it might sound like, oh, yeah, I'm trying to hide something. No, not at all. Not at all. Quite the contrary, because I don't do that to friends. And even in this instance, I don't want to stoop to that level. But really talking about me, like if my husband found something out, then I would be forbidden to be on the internet. Is that right? So you think my husband has the power to keep me off the internet in the United States? Whoa. Well, that ain't something, is it? Well, let me tell you a little something about my husband is my best friend. And that's how, friend is in friend, like no matter what, might be so fucking pissed at me, but he'd have my motherfucking back because he knows me. And that's my one hard, fast rule. And you couldn't do it. None of you could. Just don't stab me in the back. Just don't stab me in the back. And Tretch, out of Tretch, Angela, Chris, Pazuzu, and myself were the only, and Jackie, in this little Discord of let's find friendship and let's la 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 la. Fake as motherfucking fuck. And quite frankly, my honest opinion is that it was just Tretch that poisoned the well. Well, and then of course Jackie's going to try, be behind him, and that's maybe she's his ride or die, whatever. So that I can respect that. But now today we're just going to air people's personal things. I'm not going to go that route. I'm not going to go that route at all. But I'm just shocked that Tretch thinks that he knows my personal business. No, Tretch. No. I hate to tell you this, but from day one, what I have is mine. That's right. I don't have a husband all up in my shit. Of course, I shared good and I was working and everything. But no, I get by on my own. On my own for the most part. That's a lot of the problem, but obviously you missed that. And I bought this house cash myself with my own money from the other house that I sold that was mine and only mine from that sale. So you're wrong. But you won't admit you're wrong because these are all things in your mind. Okay? So therefore, and I have a few things that I have to take care of before I move on to my next chapter. I'm aware of it. The people that I care about are aware of it. And the people that I have intimate relationships with know about it. And that's all who really needs to know about it. But Tretch decided to make it the business of YouTube today. And now he's threatening to do what? Or even is thinking about extorting me and what? Sending stuff to my husband. Let me tell you, number one, first off, people already have. And he laughed at it. It's stupid. And number two, just wow. Just wow. And again, for the people who've been around the block a while, let me put the link in here. The people who've been around the YouTube block for a while know a little bit about some things that have gone on, don't they? I'm not going to repeat it out of actual respect for that woman who's married to him and the other people involved. Hold on, make it feedback for a second. Never in my life did I know that Tretch and Pazuzu Productions had a problem with my social life, that being intimate or not. But that being said, I can tell you this, that there's only been a few people that I even ever have talked that way with on the internet. And there's a reason why, because anyways, I just wanted to say that. So, but anyway, I need to pack a bowl. Then the other day was, let's see, then another relative was deathly sick during the time of the trailer, which the trailer's gone now. I don't know. I didn't listen to the rest of his rant. I got to the part where he's inquiring as if he extorts me and sends information to my husband. Isn't that something? There's a lot of jealousy here, isn't there? There's a lot of jealousy. Can you imagine the freedom I have? The freedom that I have. I live by myself for a reason. Reasons in our marriage that have nothing to do with Tretch or his wife or Pazuzu or any of them. Wow, this is one little sick man. But I want you to remember something. He's your friend, Angela, and he's your friend, Pazuzu. Yours. And if I want to bring stuff up that happened in the Discord and the things that I prevented happening, of this kind of shit happening to other people, even though I can't stand them, trying to blame, stalking their family members on Facebook and saying that it was this person's aunt and this person's this or that that's doing things on the internet. And I'm like, no. And I show cold hard proof. I mean, that you can't deny. Like, if you try running with that on that person, you know you're going to be cut down. Ain't that right? Little something psychotic. Getting his fucking family involved in that shit. Look what my kids brought me. Huh, this is his aunt. Even if I don't like that person, you ain't going to be fucking with people's families, trying to frame them for shit because you're not so smart. And Pazuzu, I am so disappointed in you. Because I considered him like a really good friend. And he's saying, oh, be friends with this one, be friends. Even when I say something doesn't seem right, like I don't think they really like me or something, you know, like why are we doing this? Just trust me. That's what it's supposed to be. And also, Tretch started this little latest thing out with, first I want to make clear that this had nothing to do with a targeted, whatever on tacos. Bullshit. Of course it did. And now he's doubling down again on the mud pig shit. Well, it is what it is, isn't it? Because we know what it means, don't we? Yes, we do. I don't know why some people have a hard time just saying, like, because I've done it, man. I freaked out. Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry I came at you that way. I just got freaked out because of the shit I've been through and stuff. And, and I just make a public retraction and say it was a misunderstanding or something. So therefore, going forward, years forward as we are now, from the Pizzagate shit, something ain't right with that person. Something ain't right with all these people. Anyway. And let's face it, that's why somebody had to be doxxed. Why my one friend had to be doxxed to James D. That's the dynamics here. That's the real dynamics. And it goes way, 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 way deeper, doesn't it? It does. And that's sad. That's sad. So basically you can have no confidant, no anybody on the internet. Or you, I don't know. I guess I have to say it's possible because I have met, like one of my very best friends, that being my husband. And I know you can't, I know everybody has a problem with other people's marriages. That's really bizarre. But I'll tell you this, that just wow. And oddly enough, with my husband not being, he's a what do they call it? Not a natural born citizen, but I forget. Anyways, he's a citizen, but he's not a natural born citizen, and he has a different culture. But I have more freedoms than a lot of these women who are married to natural born citizens. It's very sad. And now one is trying to tell me about my marriage. Somebody that I considered a friend, basically another fucking Becky. Tretch is another Becky. Here he is now bringing up, and I knew it, and I knew it. And isn't that what he did before to the other people? And I just totally believed that lie too, because OG Juan Kenobi had come at me before. But I think he took that right down right away. But I forget. But I was like, oh yeah, he's a bad guy because Tretch said so. And I like Scooby. So like I don't really know what all went down in those dynamics. But this is why things happen and why other things are happening and will happen. And maybe even be worse now. Because this is how these people are. And for the few people who have reached out to me who are very aware what these people are, again, I can't thank you enough for being there for me, because they've seen it all. They've seen the whole truth. And I can't help but think, I'd be almost stupid not to think, what's been the design from the very beginning on this with Pazuzu? Why collect these people and have to bring me and add me to this fucking weird concoction? And then when I get a life or whatever, first they're all like, oh, that's horrible, you have to be in this situation in life, and oh. But any chance of happiness and any chance of other friendship or whatever, or growth, oh, but wait a minute, they'll throw money at people who stay in abusive relationships and do what online again? And they'll throw money at them. Is that right? Send them, accidental naked pictures. Oopsie. Hate it when that happens, huh? But those are the women who are, worthy of the old PayPal treatment. Is that right? Is that right? This could go in a lot of directions. It could. But on my part, I choose not to. Now, again, I wanted to make clear that I was responding to Yaxley. Had nothing to do with Tretch. But Tretch's response was to me. But I just wanted to make sure that's clear. That word responding is a very common word, so it may have not been related or whatever. So there's the part that somebody wanted Tretch to address. I'm just going back and trying to remember now, because I only watched a little bit of the video. And his main concern was, or when he started out, was about him calling me a mud pig and a bitch. I've never called his wife anything. My husband's never called his wife anything like that. Just wanted to make that clear. And as far as my social life on the internet, I just never knew that so many people were interested. And wow, we have some people who do break some confidences, don't we? In that little mix up in there. And again, without any problem doing this behind my back. And again, with my work, I did hear that part Tretch brought up. People use other people's work and they're not talking about it. Well, I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to see and ask, like, what's going on with my work. It wasn't just that. And yet, Tretch did upload some of my content before, and that was a show that I believe is still public over on my Sugar Taco channel. A show that I had to go over there to the Sugar Taco channel because I was here on tacos. James wanted me to go live with him. Let's start there. James and I. Do you hear any Tretch in there? No. James and I decided to go live. We did privately on this tacos channel, as a matter of fact. And it got struck right out the gate. I was going to do that grizzly suit thing. And so I was like, fuck it, let's just go to Sugar Tacos. So I go over there and I just do a regular show, and I don't know what's going to happen, right? Well, that's when Seabass got on and kind of sort of apologized to me, because that's when Katie, me, Forrest, Seabass, Penny, Aaron, I had all of them coming at me at once. Agent 19, all of their chat. But Penny helped orchestrate a lot of that. But anyways, I had all of that stuff going on, and James just asked me to go live. And by the way, we never really discussed all that what happened, what went on with Katie and all that was between Katie and us. I never put James in the position to choose or anything, or like, why is this bitch coming at me or anything like that. I never did that. That I can remember. I don't think I did. Because I handle my own shit. So let me finish this up to this content that Tretch decided had something to do about him too. In a way it did, because he was on the show. But so I went over to Sugar Taco, and then we got that all straightened out. And Seabass was like, or Lemieux, I don't know what to call him. We're like, we're good. And basically that was the whole reason for the show. And I got to smoking, and we were, everybody was having a good time, and they didn't really know Lemieux. They kind of did. Well, like Diana X, because she'd go over there to Agent 19s and talk bad about me with Lemieux, and then, and then blah, blah, blah. And then she wants to, same fucking creepos. But anyway, so Diana X wound up on there, and Tretch, and who else? Oh, Scotty. I don't know. I forgot. Anyways, it's a little bit of a longer show, and it's over there on Sugar Taco. So I thought maybe there was something funny or something, because Tretch was like, do you mind if I use that? And I was like, no, go ahead, And he uploads the whole fucking show. Like, somehow I am taking a guess here that Tretch thinks that a lot of things are about him that have absolutely nothing to do with him. And then Chris Aiken, Pazuzu, he was like, oh, I see what you did there. Well, what did you do there? I'm just curious to know, like, what is it about my content that intrigues you so much that you just upload the whole thing? I mean, I see if you're doing like a library thing, or if it was an interview or something that goes along with a topic that you research or something. That was my question. I'm allowed to ask these questions, because at the time I thought, there was a personal friendship, and then all of a sudden it's just, you're seeing things that aren't there. Let's go back to the pizza shit and the crying and sobbing. I quit my job because I had to report on this pizza, and you couldn't concentrate on anything in life because those poor kids that Hillary has under the ping pong. You got something wrong with you, fucking dude. Now you're coming at my family. Oh, and my friends and people. Wow, this is very interesting. I think that I want to be the better person, and I don't want to roll in this, because well, a mud pig might do that, right? And that's you. That's you and yours that's doing that. I don't get my whole family all stirred up about shit. No, I don't. No, I do not. And now, really threatening to send things to who from the internet about what, and who got an accidental naked picture from who. And that's just the tip of the shit, ain't it? Just the tip. Just the tip, isn't it? I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be you. And then putting it out on YouTube, knowing that I have haters or whatever who would probably, two have contacted my husband. Okay, he don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if somebody calls me about him. I don't give a fucking shit. No. No. And now these people who care about the sanctity of marriage and all this stuff want to ruin one. Isn't that interesting? You know who does that? Probably like ISIS, or actually the religious police. Must report wild female who flirts with two people in particular, just two. Not the whole fucking internet. If I get playful or whatever, it's my nature. It is my nature. My husband knows that in me too. Because as a matter of fact, this is crazy. This is really crazy. Really, it is. I'm not going to go into some things. But it's amazing how some people are taking things, isn't it? Aiken, you requested that I was his friend and be an actual friend, and that I was. Even though I repeatedly said something doesn't seem right. Because I don't have many relationships. I don't have a lot of friendships for that reason. I have very few people that I consider close. That close. But once again, he did what he does, right? He's treacherous, you know. But they're the good people. They're the good people, and I should be hated because I did an impromptu interview. Something's not right there. Something's not right there. This is a control freak. You are not going to control me, and neither is your family or whoever the fuck you're friends with or however much money they've got. I don't give a flying fuck. Again, I'm not Lepo. I'm not going anywhere. And with this whole contention about James D., I told you people from the beginning that we're tight. You got that? So what we have here is the pretense to what's coming, because they know what they did. They know what they did behind my back. For what? For YouTube clout, to have a relationship or to be tight or tighter with other people, one who being James D. And they know now they're basically just the schleps. They've been had. The documentary is shit. There is no documentary. It's shit. It's a lie. The trailer was no trailer. The trailer was a means of abuse. To call Lestat a liar and to get at me for what the fuck ever for conducting an interview. And Tretch starts out tonight. First of all, it was never intended to hurt her. You're a liar. You are a liar, Tretch. You are. And you're lying again, and now you're threatening me, and now you're trying to exploit my personal life. You and your friends, Chris and Angela, Pazuzu and Angela, because you were all three in on it. As it went down, and for pretentious reasons, I never gave you any reason to hate me. Ever. Oh, excuse me. I asked Chris to leave my Discord when he kept putting the Modelo stickers all over everything. Everything had to be related to James D. Everything. Not by me, by them. And I'm like, just get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of it. I post anything personal or a news story, Modelo, everywhere. And then having to hear the virtue signaling about how James is drinking bothers them and hear all their fucking sob stories of their personal lives. Turn the channel. Then why are you running to him like little bitches behind my back saying shit about me? Saying shit about me. Think you got a story. That's why it's coming out, isn't it? Because they know I know. I've known the whole time. And I just let it go because I thought, well, whatever. They just got caught up maybe in the moment, whatever. I made every excuse for them because it was going to go down. I said, no, they're my friends. I had their back. Then they're going to go and pull this shit. Wow. Just wow. And again, it's with that YouTube cred stuff as it was with Lepo. And they go from, whatever. Worm their way into this. What has it been? Lift the Veil, Lepo. What other ones is this Pazuzu been? Well, and then of course the Tretch shit, which is what really was that? What was that group? Because it was Tretch, China to 3, Freddie, OG, Juan Kenobi, Scooby. Somehow Renee got involved in that too. Cade was in there. But wasn't Cade a friend of Tretch's who was like along for the ride or whatever? But anyways, it was basically based on like Pizzagate shit. So same stuff here. And then of course Thomas was in on that. So and Q had many facets or whatever. So all of these people have severe issues. Hey Reno, I don't know. Were you Gamer Girl? If you were Gamer Girl, was it Gamer Girl who was on James D's panel and she had a disability? I think she was a redhead, if I remember right. I can't keep it straight because I don't know Gamer Girl, New Metal Girl. Okay, girl, I know who you are now. Good to see you. Oh, I know you hang out with Scotty and all them. You don't know these dynamics, so, but it's cool. I totally get that you don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know because you came out of nowhere. up on James D's panel. Maybe you're not. Did you just have a baby? And you have a disability and you're a redhead? And we're on James D's. Come out like hellfire on there. Anyway, I should probably wrap this. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going around. I wanted to touch on. I'm just amazed, and I don't even know if I can stomach listening to whatever that was that Tretch's reason now. So now it's all my marriage and my love interests on the internet because I'm starting a new life. I'm starting a new life that other people only dream about and they can't make it happen because they're too up in their own shit. I haven't lived with my husband in over 10 years. And guess where I lived? In my own house that I paid for myself, both in Texas and in Oklahoma. That's right. I've always had a separate house that I bought for myself. Because I've always had my own freedom. That started over 10 years ago. Hold on, I gotta take a break. I'll be right back. I'm still here, y'all. Oh yeah, the title to this, I just now remembered the hardest thing because I try to quit smoking all the time, and I've done it before, and I have to do it. I have to do it because I just owe it to myself and people that I love. It's fucking hard. Every day, I try every day, but and usually fail every day, but it'll come. Have faith in me. I've been so far today. Well, anyway, pretty much. So these developments are exactly what I had anticipated and dreaded, because that is that is the character of the people I'm dealing with once again. Once again. And when it's not only me, but other people who have told me the exact same thing, I'm like, damn, you know what? And you know somebody who is right a lot of the time? Yeah. Yeah. She was right a lot of the time. And that was Renee. Renee told me this, and it was a big part of the contention that I stopped talking to Renee. We didn't really leave. And that's another thing Renee did, was Renee gave me the dignity of not going through this when her and I had a fallout. We just stopped talking. We didn't have bad words. We didn't, nothing like that. And I would tell her once, you know, what it was that really, I was like, fuck, man, I can't. Because at least she gave me that dignity, and she was right about a lot of shit before we fell out. And this being it right here. How could that be? That pretty much she knew. Not so much with Tretch, though. I don't think she really ever said anything. But on the other side, yeah. And then these manipulations of now using private. That's all you. That's all you. Airing out private stuff. But isn't that interesting that Tretch seems to think he knows about my life and my marriage? Oh, and that my husband pays all my bills. Is that right? Is that what's happening? This is very, 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 very interesting, isn't it? I don't worry about what his wife does with her money, who pays his bills. I don't. I don't care about who pays anybody's bills, quite frankly, unless they're asking me to pay them. No, I pay my own bills. Every once in a while. Anyway, me, myself, my family, and I. For now, because I'm disabled. you know? Anyway, this is a very sick person and very sick people. Carry on with your sickness. Oh, but let me, I updated my community page. I wanted to make that clear because there's an accusation on Tracy's community page about me working for Thomas. No, I don't work for Thomas, never have worked for Thomas, but Tracy's mod did. And a lot of people that slither around there either have or do or whatever. And now one of them is talking about my kids on a panel with Yaxley, in which Tracy joined later. But on her community tab, her and Trollope go back and forth about Thomas, and maybe I worked for him, and how I said that's a very strong accusation. I'm going to tell you right now, that is a very strong accusation, because those who have and still continue to work with him have been all up your ass. One of them especially has been up Thomas's ass. InfoWars, Alex Jones. But you know everything, don't you? Don't you? And you're going to add to it. Rolling it, all of you. Go ahead. And this latest one of all people, wow. Somebody that called himself my friend. And I'll ask any of you, would any of your real friends do that to you? Within what amount of time? Seriously. Seriously. A very deep-seated something. When I told you James D and I we're close. These people didn't want to believe it. And they wanted to come between that. And they know what I know. And the accusations there that were made. Behind my back. That I ignored for reasons that I had to. And who did I protect? Them. Yeah, I protected them. Yep. When I was told about it and I was told they would be taken care of, I was like, no, don't. They're my friends. They're my friends. Not my friends. No. No. What is it? You're only as strong as your weakest link or whatever. Yeah, that's that crew. I would have thought more highly of Chris and Angela, or Aiken and Angela, but no. They're all about it. Even though they straggle behind and they're all like, but we care about you, and it's just Lestat. He's a horrible person. Can't even listen to him because I don't like his voice. All the way up to my marriage now, and talking about extortion. Extortion for YouTube credit, or because you look like a complete asshole? That's very interesting. And those that know the history, somebody who wants to talk about, what is it now again, cheating and whatever, which isn't my business. It's not. But this dude is all up in my life. Why? Another Becky. Because he deserves to be me, not me. He deserves to have my friends and my interviews and my work and whatever. Worried about me, worried about my bills, worried about who I'm sleeping with. Okay? I think this goes beyond a little bit of a trailer and a documentary. Fucking weirdo, man. Get the fuck out of here. People who've been watching forever know it. I don't have to convince anybody or anything. This is a serious sickness. I'm looking at something. Sorry. Getting a message again. Anyways, maybe I'll watch some of it at a later time, and then I don't know, it's probably best that, again, I know what I need to do. But anyway, if you know what, and it's hurtful, isn't it? That because somebody doesn't have all of the answers that they have, decided to weave this story together, and is that concerned about my marriage? My marriage. Isn't it? And enough to even went behind my back and then finds out that I knew the whole time. Is that mad about it? But still, I even let it go. I let it all go because I thought they don't believe me. They don't believe me about James and I, which again is my life and James's life and other people's lives that are involved with anything that I do. And again, I guess I need to, well, learn from everything in life, right? Anyways, I guess I'll let y'all go. I got shit to do, but I'm amazed now. Now I'm going to be attacked on a personal level, which I already was. And when I pointed that out, and all I did was mention how maybe my husband doesn't appreciate it, then that's an open door for what now? People are extremely sick.